Hello and welcome to our PandO Arvia vlog series. In this episode, find out how our first PandO embarkation went. We are completely blown away as we start to explore what Arvia has to offer. Find out how our first evening meal on board PandO Arvia went. And be sure to watch until the end to find out what reception and the main dining room have in common.
Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Dom.
And we are Tom and Dom Travel.
Welcome to a very exciting day, Embarkation.
Woo! So, here we are on Arvia.
Yes, all very excited, all settled in, and it's been a really busy day.
Yeah, very busy already. Okay, so let's start off talking about embarkation. And the process was pretty easy for us, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty straightforward. We just arrived at the ocean terminal. We checked in online. We had our pre-assigned boarding time, which was 12:15. We got there a little bit early, around about 10-15 minutes. No queues whatsoever. There were quite a lot of commotion in terms of events and music being set up, because obviously this is Arvia's maiden journey, so they were sort of making a really big event out of it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because we arrived 15 minutes early, we sort of missed all that, didn't we?
Yeah, so we caught the start of it, didn't we, really? So there was a steel band type thing outside, and inside there were two lovely stilt walkers, which was quite nice to see. So what we did, we got joined the queue, which was only about 2 people deep.
Yeah, it wasn't really a queue.
Checked in straight away and sat and waited for us to be called. We sat there for about half an hour, didn't we, really? But that was expected because we were there early. But when it was our time, we were called through nice and swiftly, straight through security, and it wasn't long at all before we were on the ship.
No. As soon as we walked on the ship, there was a little bit of a queue on the gangway, but you know, it wasn't that bad. As soon as we walked on the ship, though, we were greeted and directed to our muster station straight away, which is quite unusual, really, for us.
Yeah. Before we'd even done anything, we'd even got a chance to get into the ship. It was, right, go to your muster station, and when you haven't got a clue where you're going, it's an interesting thing to find your muster station as soon as you've boarded. But we did. It didn't take too long, did it? So we are muster station A, which is the main theatre. So pretty easy to find. Most main theatres on most ships are at the front of the ship, aren't they? So that's the way we headed. Did our muster station, no problems at all, and then headed straight to our room, because we were told our room was already.
Yeah. So in the terminal, they didn't give us our cruise cards. We had to collect them at the door of our cabin, and we're in our cabin right now, and yeah. Okay,
we've moved position in the room already, because one of the main problems about this inside cabin is that the lighting in it is terrible. We're talking to you with a light in front of us, the wake up alarm clock that we brought with us, because without that it's even darker.
Yeah, it's definitely one of our pet peeves of the cabin, the fact that it's just so dark.
Yeah.
And obviously for an inside cabin, you'd want it just a little bit better lit, really. But it's all nice, shiny and new, as expected from Arvia's maiden journey. But it is very, very dark.
Yeah. So we'll give you more of an insight into the cabin and what it actually looks like in our cabin tour. So the link will be on screen now, so have a look at that and tell us what you think of our cabin, and would you stay in an inside like we have?
So after dropping our belongings off, we were straight off and started to explore Arvia. The first place we went to was the Epicurean, because everybody we have spoken to that have sailed previously on PandO, especially Iona, have said that the food in there is absolutely fantastic. We couldn't actually get onto the app to book at the Epicurean or Keel and Cow prior to boarding. It basically just kept saying, you know, inquire on board. So we went straight up there and booked that, and the restaurant looked absolutely amazing.
It looks really nice. So fingers crossed, later on in the week we will give you our verdict on the Epicurean.
From the Epicurean then, just right next to it is the Crow's Nest. Now, having spoken to the cruise monkeys, who have sailed with PandO quite a bit, they basically said that's one of their favourite venues on board, and we can see why, because the views absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, really nice, really sophisticatedly decorated as well, isn't it? So we can definitely see ourselves spending some time up in the Crow's Nest.
After a brief tour of the Crow's Nest, just outside is a little staircase that takes you right upstairs to the retreat. So the retreat on board Arvia is a paid for experience. I suppose an exclusive area right at the front of the ship with sun loungers and seating, where you can sort of book and spend time there on sunny days. Unfortunately, it was a little bit wet in Southampton, but the area did look absolutely spectacular.
It did. So yeah, we had a quick whip round look into the retreat, and then continued across the top deck then, didn't we?
Yes, because we were really excited. So we basically headed straight to the Sky Dome. So obviously on Iona, everybody talks about the Sky Dome, how amazing it is. And on Arvia, it's just as spectacular.
Yeah, so the difference is on Arvia that the roof of the Sky Dome is retractable, so it can open out in sunnier weather. And with this ship heading to the Caribbean soon, I think it'll be ideal there, won't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Another feature that this ship has, as we were exploring the top decks, is all the infinity pools.
Oh yeah, so many infinity pools just dotted randomly along the deck.
Well, they're like infinity jacuzzis, infinity hot tubs, aren't they? This, you only need to get near them and they start bubbling. So yeah, really good. We can't wait to get to warmer weather where we can actually try them. Okay, so continuing our quick tour of the ship, we headed into the buffet, didn't we, to see what was on offer. And again, really nicely decorated. It looks like there is a good selection of food already.
Again, all shiny and new. Really nice venue. And we were really impressed with the selection that they had on offer. Obviously, we got on the ship around about 12:15ish, so it was looking about 2 o'clock now, and they had roast dinner there. Pretty much they had a whole little piglet, didn't they?
They did have a whole piglet. I don't know how I feel about having heads on animals, but
it looked nice though. Lovely selection in the Horizon buffet, and really nice big space, plenty of seating really. So we're looking forward to some little midnight munches in there.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be in there often. So, touring the ship so quickly as we want to, we headed out from the buffet and to the aft of the ship.
Really big space on Arvia. Myself and Tom love a wake view, and this area of the ship is absolutely huge.
There's plenty of wake views, isn't there? There's it's like a tiered aft, so there's a couple of infinity pools at the aft of the ship, and also what they call a swim up bar, but you can't actually swim up to it. So yeah, the swim up bar has got water in it, but you can't swim in the pool to get to the bar. No. It's strange, but we shall see how it goes. But at the moment, there's no way I'm getting in that water because it's absolutely freezing. Okay, after that, we headed up the stairs from the aft pool to the new feature on Arvia, which is the altitude high ropes.
Yeah, absolutely new, spectacular. We have done a high ropes at sea before on MSC Virtuosa, so we're quite looking forward to doing this high ropes because it's sort of an advertised, promoted feature of Arvia. Unfortunately, we were so busy, we didn't have the opportunity to go up on Embarkation, but we'll definitely try and get up there at some point.
And it's cold outside,
Yeah,
so it's
a bit wet and slippy, so it's not advisable.
No, I'd rather do it when it was a bit warmer.
Yeah. Directly underneath, though, is the mini golf.
Mini golf and kids splash area.
Yeah, it was really quite good up there.
So there's lots going on up there. Really nice new feature that they've added. So can't wait for it to be a little bit warmer so we can really get make the most of it. Yeah. So we then headed down to the 6th Street Diner because that's another new venue we really wanted to check out. We will eat in there some point in the week, so keep a look out for that. But it actually looks fantastic, doesn't it? The decor of it and how it's set up. There's a fantastic jukebox in there. So lots going on in there again.
Yeah, really authentic sort of 1960s American style diner, and they have put in a lot of effort to recreate this venue.
Even the music that's on, isn't it?
Yeah, it is absolutely phenomenal, and it's really big.
Big space.
There are only 2 main dining rooms on Arvia, as opposed to Iona that's got 3, and obviously they've removed one of the main dining rooms to make way for 6th Street Diner, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, and directly opposite the Olive Grove.
The Olive Grove is there as well. So both of these are available to eat in as an alternative to the 2 main dining rooms.
Yeah, and completely included in your cruise fare.
Yeah. So not far away from the 6th Street Diner and the Olive Grove is the main atrium area.
It is truly spectacular. It's got windows over 3 decks on either side. It is really, really beautiful. It is fantastic.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see much of it when we first embarked, because as we said, they sent us straight to our muster station. So this was our first big view of it, and it is fantastic, isn't it? You really do feel like you're at sea because they've got those huge windows, but then the focal point in the middle of the ship is great as well. Beautiful sweeping staircases. They've done it great, and as we're on in December over Christmas, it's decorated beautifully.
Yeah, the whole ship is beautifully decorated.
Yeah.
Christmas trees, festive. I don't know how long it's going to last. As you can see, we're getting into full swing with our Christmas jumpers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does look absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
Dotted around the main atrium over 3 floors are different venues, different restaurants, different bars. Really, really nice sort of place to sort of sit down, relax and enjoy the ship.
Yeah. Another venue that's not far away from that main atrium is the Quays, and the Quays again has got some new additions added to it.
So they've got a fish and chip shop, an Asian fusion restaurant, well it's not really a restaurant, and also a Yorkshire pudding / roast dinner.
Yeah,
venue.
So 3 separate counters, that's how it's set up, and you can go to each one if you want to, or just one, and select a meal from each one and then go and sit down and eat that. And then, again, another fantastic space, isn't it? So we're already building up a picture that there's going to be so much choice.
I'm going to be rolling off this cruise.
Yeah, there is so much choice to eat.
On our Embarkation, one of the busiest venues is the spa, and Arvia's spa was no exception.
No, we do like to have a little look in the spa, and if you want to have a tour around the spa and see if it's for you or not, we'd always recommend going on Embarkation Day. If you want a treatment, then that is the time to book. But what you can see is what the spa looks like, have a tour around, see the treatment rooms, see all the relaxation areas, because as you get into your cruise, the spa's a working area and you wouldn't be able to do that.
No.
So always go and have a little look around on the first day, and the staff are more than happy to give you a tour, which is what we did. We did a little tour, and let me tell you, some of the treatments that they've got on board are fantastic.
Yeah, state of the art really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Also, if you go for the tour, they tend to give you little discount coupons at the end. So, be mindful of that if you are interested in some of those treatments, because they're not cheap. Also included in the spa area, they've got hairdressers, nail salon, and and male barbers as well, with loads of male treatments as well, skin rejuvenation.
So no, there's a wealth of treatments there for anyone really. Anything you can think of, they've got something for you. After our spa tour, we headed back up to the buffet to grab ourselves a drink and a little snack. Because by this time we were quite worn out already, weren't we?
Yeah, we've been busy rushing around pretty much most of Arvia just to basically try and cover as many of the areas as possible before we sailed away from Southampton.
Yeah, because we wanted to get some of the areas before the majority of the passengers were on board, so it was easier for us to film when it was quieter.
Yeah.
Which we did, so it made things a little bit easier for us.
So we went in the Horizon buffet because it was our first opportunity really just to sit down, relax, have a quick drink and something to eat, and again plenty of selection, and it was a little bit difficult getting an alcoholic beverage in Horizon. I had to go all the way out into the Sky Dome, grab a drink and then bring it in.
Yeah.
But I just think that was just because it was so busy on Embarkation.
Yeah, we'll have to test that out on another day and see what happens. Okay, so we then headed back to our room where we chilled out for a bit, got changed, ready for the evening.
Yes. So we were really excited because sail away was at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to sort of get up on deck and witness the sail away from Southampton. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of anticlimax.
Yeah, so there was no events planned on board. So considering this is the maiden voyage, there was no sail away party. There was no event to say we're first time sailing away. So really disappointed with that, weren't we? Actually, there was nothing to mark the occasion at all.
The weather wasn't that great, and it was pitch black. But they could have still, I don't know, fireworks. I don't know. Would have been nice.
Never mind. So after that then we headed back to our room because we had our coats on because it was freezing in Southampton. Dropped the coats off and headed to dinner.
Yes, dinner. Virtual queues. Normal queues. It was all very, very confusing for us on our first day, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we're quite
tech savvy.
No problems with using apps and things like that, but it's not well explained at all. If you've not cruised with PandO before, you'll have no clue what to do. And judging by the queues that were lining up to get into the restaurant with people saying my app's not working, I don't know how to get on the app, what's happening, I want to just queue, I don't want to be bothered with an app. It was all going on, wasn't it?
So my PandO Holidays, it isn't an app that you can pre-download before departure, similar to other sort of apps that perhaps MSC and Princess do. It is essentially you come on board, you connect to the Wi-Fi on board the ship, and then you go to a web page in your web browser. Here you'll enter the last 6 digits of your cruise card, a few other personal details, and then pretty much you'll have access to basically bookings, your onboard account and things like that. I wouldn't say it was the best system we'd ever used.
No.
So in order to go to dinner, you can either pre-book. However, the main dining rooms, you can't pre-book any later than 6:30. So we tend, those of you that regularly follow us, we like to go for our dinner at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're quite religious in terms of we like dinner at 7 o'clock when we're on a cruise, don't we?
It just works for us, doesn't it?
It gives us time then to go and see the shows afterwards and to experience some of the events around the ship.
Yeah.
So we pretty much went to the restaurant, and there's 2 queues. One side for no bookings, and the other side for being called if you've been called for your table.
Yeah.
In order to be called for your table, you have to join a virtual queue. Now, the idea is absolutely brilliant. Obviously, because this was our first night, we were a little bit, we were just trying to find our way around. So we managed to join a virtual queue. We waited for 45 minutes, and then we got a notification on our phone that our table was ready.
Yeah.
So then we went to dinner.
Yeah, and there was hardly any tables with anyone on. I don't know why. The restaurant seemed to be half empty, to be honest with you.
But you have to battle your way.
And the queue, there were no booking queue, was huge by this point. The restaurant was half empty.
Really
Anyway, so they
strange.
sat us on the first table that you could get to, next pretty much to most of the queues.
Yeah,
in
it
the
was in the
walkway, next
walkway.
to a service area.
It just wasn't very
It
nice
just
at all.
wasn't nice when half the restaurant was empty. So we asked to be moved, and they moved us to overlooking. So we were up in the Zenith restaurant, and they moved us to sit on a table that overlooked down into the Meridian restaurant.
Yeah.
So, which is both of those are the main dining rooms. You
The
can
only-
access one from the other.
The only difference is
The Zenith has tablecloths and the Meridian has placemats. Don't know why, but that's how you can tell the difference. Okay, so what did we have for dinner? I had broccoli soup to start, as everyone who's watched our vlogs before. I tend to have a soup to start as usual, so why change the habit of a lifetime? And the soup was beautiful, actually. It was really nice.
and I opted to go for the chicken croquette, which was nice. Yeah, it was very nice. I can't say there was anything wrong with it. It was just, yeah, two chicken croquettes.
Yeah.
So potato and chicken.
For main, then I went for the steak, and it was actually fantastic steak for a main dining room steak. Really enjoyed that. Cleared the plate, gone.
I was
Fantastic.
very envious.
Yeah.
Because it did look amazing.
Yeah.
And I opted for the pork loin. Now, it was delicious, but very, very small.
Considering the piece of steak that I had was quite a fair size.
I had a little dinky round piece of pork loin. It was lovely, don't get me wrong. It was just really, really small.
Yeah. Now, the service was a little bit slow.
And we had to wait 45 minutes in this virtual queue.
Yeah, to get in. So we pre-booked. Another thing you have to pre-book is the theatre. And as we pre-booked our 8:30 slot in the theatre, unfortunately we didn't have time for dessert.
Absolutely devastated because
So-
the dessert menus on board look amazing.
Yeah. So maybe tomorrow we'll have time. So we dashed off to the theatre then, and it was time for the first show, which was
CJ Illusions.
CJ Illusion, and we really enjoyed CJ Illusion. Those quick change acts,
Really, really clever.
fantastic. He interacted with the audience really well, and to be fair to him, there was a couple of technical difficulties, which, because it was the first ever show on the main stage on Arvia, he handled it like a pro.
Yeah.
So not their fault at all, I'm sure. But it was really great act. Some of his tricks were great. You were thinking, how did you do that?
Yeah.
So really enjoyed him.
Yeah, really, really good show. Both of them were fantastic, really. And, well, the audience loved them. We loved them. They were so good. So if you do get the opportunity to see them, make sure you do.
So after the theatre then, we headed through the casino. This was our first experience and our first sight of the casino on board Arvia. So it is smaller than some of the American size ship.
And
MSC. But to be fair, for a British line, it's a fair size casino.
Size, yeah. You've got a couple of roulette tables, a couple of blackjack tables, as well as a fair few slot machines. And it's pretty much just connected to Brody's.
Couple of poker tables.
Yeah.
So good. And this is where you also can get your bingo tickets and things like that. So but what we wanted to do, we didn't hang about because we knew that there was a show in the Sky Dome and we wanted to experience our first performance in the Sky Dome, so we headed straight up there to see
Kezia Hughes.
Kezia Hughes
doing a little song with her guitar. She was really, really good. There was quite a few people in there. It's, as much as it's a big venue, for holding sort of entertainment events, it's quite strange, really, because the acoustics aren't that great, are they?
We've heard people say that the acoustics weren't great on Iona, so we thought they might have done something to address that on Arvia, even though they've changed the shape of the Sky Dome.
It might be different when they sort of can open
maybe
it.
when the roof is open, who knows, but at the moment it was a bit hit and miss with the acoustics, really.
Yeah. After spending some time in the Sky Dome listening to the live music, once that finished, then we made our way down to the main atrium because there were some aerial acrobats.
Yeah, aerial artists. So what they have done, which again is different to Iona, is the central part of the atrium is decorated, and there's different things they attach for the area acrobats to perform there, isn't it? And actually it's amazing to watch them. It is a bit heart-stopping because you think, oh, if they drop off here, it's there's going to be some cracked bones, but
they are spectacular, really.
Yeah.
And the way that they're just so elegant, the way that they can move and sort of hold on for dear life and still perform when they're sort of 3 stories high spinning around. It's incredible, really.
Yeah, really good. So if you get a chance to stop at the atrium and see them, please do that.
By now we noticed that there was a really big queue forming.
Oh yes, yeah,
massive.
And this was the queue for reception. So the reception area, we had a quick look, is very small actually.
Tiny.
There's only probably three or four people on the desk, which for a ship of this size is very, very small.
Yeah.
So we noticed that queue never really went down, did it?
No.
In fact, it's just getting bigger and bigger as the day goes on. It's just, they're just not built to cope with that. So for a ship of this many people on board, reception is far, far too small.
Yeah, so this queue from reception is just going all the way through the atrium. It's really, really strange.
Yeah.
We've been quite fortunate where we haven't really had to complain about it. No,
We haven't
everything's
needed
gone
to go.
all right for us.
Fingers crossed. Normally it's because we lose our cruise card.
Yeah. Oh God, I wouldn't want to be in that queue.
No, it's coming. I'm sure at some point I'll lose my card, but
Well, it might die down in a couple of days.
we shall see.
We shall see.
Okay, so from there we headed to the Clubhouse.
Yes, so the clubhouse is located on deck 8 towards the aft of Arvia. You see, I'm getting good with my locations.
Yeah, you're already getting on it, aren't you? So, and great venue, good size.
Yeah.
Nice stage area, dance floor, and there was a live band on when they Pulse, they were called.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really, really
So
good.
as it's Christmas, they were doing Christmas songs and things, weren't they? As well as a mix of 90s music. So I think it was 90s theme evening, but because it was Christmas, there were some Christmas songs chucked in there as well.
Yep, so we had a few cocktails and a few drinks and started to sort of, experience, I don't know, PandO's drinks menus.
Yeah, and there was some nice drinks on there.
Yeah, there are some nice drinks on there. We haven't bought a drinks package. We wanted to see exactly, how many drinks we consume, how many coffees, how many bottles of water, and pretty much you can do that on PandO. Price up your first day, and then basically work out whether or not a drinks package is going to be worth it. So we'll have a look as go through our spend and just see whether or not it'll be worth it for us.
And if we do want it, you can buy your drinks package either day 1 or day 2.
Lots of queues were though, weren't there?
Lots of queues again
For the drinks package as well.
Um,
Might die down tomorrow.
might die down tomorrow.
But
So
again,
this is
we'll-
that thing. Queues. There seem to be a lot of queues everywhere.
Queues everywhere. So we'll price up our day 1 spend and see whether or not it'll be worth it for us. And we'll let you know.
So we got chatting to quite a few people in the clubhouse, but we did have a good chat with Josh and Ryan, who then we may have influenced to go to the casino. So we headed back to the casino. We had like 10 quid,
yeah,
£10 on
spend.
each on a machine, and I think Josh and Ryan won and we won. So
We did.
not too bad at all, was it really?
No, it was a good night all round, actually.
Yeah. And then as it was getting late, we headed to the buffet for our midnight snack. Little bit of a strange selection on, really, weren't
Yeah, and not a huge selection considering the amount of people on board and how big this ship is.
Yeah.
For a nightly buffet, bear in mind no other dining menus are open this late. If you want something to eat, yes, it is open till 1:30.
Yeah.
But really limited selection.
They did things like, example would be, they did the chili con carne, but no rice or no chips or anything to go with it.
Really strange.
Then they did like sausage rolls, just odd sausage.
Vegetarian sausage rolls.
Bits of chicken. It just seems to be quite a random selection, really.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes as the week goes on, if that improves. we do keep saying to ourselves, oh, it's the maiden voyage, it's their first time, let's see what happens.
Yeah, you've got to give them a little bit of leeway because they've never done this before.
No, neither have we. So
and the staff we've met, and they've been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we're all learning together, I suppose, aren't we?
We are.
Good, and that was the end of our night, wasn't it? Headed back to the room and to bed because, to be honest, we were shattered, weren't we?
Long day. Embarkation days always are.
Yeah.
The one thing we were really thankful for when we were walking back from the buffet, what we'd noticed was people's luggage was still being delivered to their room.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, we had ours before
straight away.
Yeah,
straight away.
Was there before 1 o'clock, really, wasn't it?
We had noticed that in reception, when we were looking at these queues, there were loads and loads of cases at reception as well, all with missing tags.
Piled up in reception. So I don't know what was going on with the luggage. It was a disaster, obviously, that some people did not get their luggage. I know people were still wearing the stuff that they'd embarked on because they hadn't had the luggage. So, real luggage disaster.
We've always used plastic luggage holders for our tags. They're sturdy, they're secure, they can't be ripped off. When these porters are dealing with all these cases, just put on a trolley all together and things get ripped. With these paper luggage tags now, it's just not worth the risks.
We'll put the link in the description for these tags, so we find them really useful, don't we?
Thanks for watching our embarkation of the wonderful PandO Arvia. If you've got any comments or questions, pop them in the box below and we'll get back to you.
And please don't forget to like and subscribe because we've got lots more Arvia content coming. So I can only imagine what we're going to be up to the next 2 weeks that we're on board. So look out for lots more updates. See you soon.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check us out on social media.